Hey y'all, hey. Hope y'all having a good morning so far. We're gonna go ahead and get a reading for the sign of Aries. So I'm gonna shuffle these cards up, then we're gonna get right into it. But yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Take what only resonate and leave the rest, please, and thank you. And one time for the one time. All right, let's get into this thing. All right, Spirit, please give me the messages for the sign of Aries. For the sign of Aries. What are the messages for the sign of Aries today for my Aries? Let's see what we got here. So we got judgment in the upright. So Aries, you could be getting judged at this time. And you could be under judgment. And whatever this judgment is, you could be now self-evaluating, having an awakening after whatever this judgment is. You could be wanting forgiveness as well, because you could have quickly judged someone else without looking at yourself. Then we got the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So you could be getting judged for being aggressive towards someone, being demanding, being overbearing, always in somebody's business, trying to judge them off of what you thought you saw, trying to bully someone. And you could have Leo in your chart, Aries. You could be an Aries female that's being judged. What else for the sign of Aries? Any more, plenty more. What's the tea, Spirit, for me, for we? What's the tea for my Aries? So we got the Ace of Cups in the upright. So you could have been being nosy and overbearing when it came to someone having a new beginning. Could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or someone with any of these signs in their chart. You could have been trying to bully them so that they don't have a new beginning, so that they don't get into a new relationship. Someone that they could be loved by, give love to, and be happy. You didn't want them to have a happy family, them to get pregnant. You could know that this person is very fertile, able to conceive, and you didn't want them to be able to celebrate. And then we got the sun in the reverse. So like I said, Aries, you did not want someone to be happy. Now, if they are pregnant or was pregnant, you could have been overbearing, trying to bully them to have a miscarriage or to get an abortion. So you could have been in your ego, Aries, not wanting this person to be happy for whatever reason. And then we got patience in the reverse. So this could have been a Virgo or someone with Virgo in their chart. Maybe you felt like they didn't deserve a relationship or they shouldn't be having children because you saw them as a failure. You saw them as not being productive at work. and you felt like they were in debt because they're an overspender. You feel like they are lazy. So there's no need for them to get into a new relationship and bear children. But this is your opinion, Aries. So you feel like they are too underqualified to be able to have a happy life, a happy family. So you could have quickly judged this person. And now you're being judged. And we got community in the upright. So yeah, like I said, Aries, and this is your energy coming out. So you didn't want this person to have a happy family. You didn't want them to be able to reunite with someone that they had a happy family with or could possibly have a happy family with. So, like I said, you didn't want them to be able to celebrate. You didn't want them to get married, feel welcomed. You didn't want to come together with this person. You didn't want to work together with this person. So this could be someone, a part of your family that you didn't want to be happy. Then we got the Chariot in the reverse. So you could have been very assertive, trying to get this person to have a lack of direction, all because you didn't want them to be in a happy marriage or be happy with their children. You wanted them to have a lack of self-control, so how you felt about them could actually be true. So you could have done things towards this person to make them lazy or be not so productive at work. So you could have been attacking this person's solar plexus so that they wouldn't have the willpower to continue to work on something that they were working on so that it will be fruitful. So anything pretty much that could bring this person happiness, you didn't want them to be able to have. So you attacked that. You could have been attacking their crown as well, trying to make it seem like they're not of the light. You wanted to make it seem like they were someone dark. They just had no direction in life. They just do anything. You wanted to make them powerless. And you did this by being overly aggressive, trying to bully them, and always trying to spy in on their life, on their love life, on their children, on their work. You just didn't want them to be successful or have any type of success in any of those areas in life. Also, that you could say that they had a lack of self-control. And we got fulfillment in the upright. So you could have known that there was a Pisces that was this person's wish fulfillment at one point. This could be someone that they have children with. And you didn't want them to be able to get to a point where they would get married. So you did everything in your power to stop that, Aries. You didn't want this person to be able to fulfill their dreams. You didn't want them to be creative, confident, optimistic. You didn't want them to have any abundance or prosperity. You just didn't want them to achieve anything in life that would say that they are successful or that will make them happy, like I said. And we got charity and giving in the upright. So you could have been trying to stop this person's gifts from coming in, or you could know that they're gifted and you didn't want them to be creative when it came to the gifts that they have. So you didn't want anyone to be generous towards this person. You didn't want them to receive any donations, any money, any support at all. You didn't want them to have employment. Also, that you could say this person is lazy and they're underqualified, just so that you could keep them in debt. Because you knew that if they had money, they would have the power to do whatever it is that they wanted to do, not only for themselves, but also for their children. So you didn't want them to be able to take care of their children or be in a happy, loving relationship. So you wanted power, control, authority over this person as well as their finances. So you didn't even want people to invest in them as well. Death in the upright. So you could have known that this person was going through a spiritual transformation, which was a new beginning. They were letting go of people, places, and things. They could have let you go because they could have realized that you were overbearing, trying to bully them into not having a happy life. So they made a change and they ended things with you. And they decided to get closure on their own. They could have changed up the work that they were doing as well. This could be some sort of work to make you feel like they had a lack of self-control, and this is why you chose to judge them, because you were spying in on them to even know what they were doing for work in the first place. But they could have released this type of work and started focusing on something more spiritual. So they were bringing a death to things so that they could have a renewal. What else for the sign of Aries? Aries spirit. Any more, plenty more. What's the tea for me, for we? What's the tea? So we got defeat in the reverse. So you could have tried to completely defeat this person's happiness. Completely defeat them when it came to life. And now you want to come to a peaceful resolution. You could have Aquarius in your chart, or you try to get an Aquarius to defeat this person, but you realize that they moved on from this person. But like I said, now you're wanting to compromise. Now you're wanting to communicate and end conflict. Because what's the reason, Aries? What's the reason of you not wanting someone to be happy? What's the reason of you not wanting someone to be able to take care of their children and have a happy home life? What's the reason for you not wanting someone to get married and be loved? Like, what's the reason? Are you jealous, or are you just a hateful bitch? So we got the moon in the upright. So you could have been doing moon magic on this person, on their dreams. You could have been doing dream work as well, trying to enter in their dreams so that you could stop certain things. You could have been trying to attack this person's intuition so that they wouldn't know that it was you, attacking their life, trying to make their life miserable. And then after attacking them, you could have tried to make it seem like to everyone else that this person was just hallucinating. They were crazy. They didn't know what they were talking about whole time. You've been doing so much shit in their life to try to stop them from being happy. You wanted them to be unstable in all areas, unstable. And you did it by being very deceptive. Now, you could have also did it because this Pisces that they have a family with, you could have wanted to live out a fantasy with this Pisces. So you wanted this person's father of their children or mother of their children. So you try to mess up their life all because you had a liking to their children's mother or father and you were insecure. Now you could be saying that everything was just a misunderstanding, that you were just in fear that they would be able to live out their dreams. So we got decision in the reverse. So you could be indecisive, or you wanted this person to be indecisive when it came to how to live life, what path to go down. You wanted them to always procrastinate on what to do next. And you could have also been postponing this person, this person from seeing the truth. Like I said, seeing the truth that it was you causing a lot of chaos and destruction in their life, all because you wanted to be a bully, all because you didn't know how to keep your nose out of their business. So you felt like everything that this person did, everything that this person was going through was your business just because you're a part of their family. So now your lies could be being exposed. The fact that you just wanted someone to seem crazy, you just wanted someone to seem lazy, you just wanted someone to seem like a bad mother because you wanted to bully them, all because you wanted the person that they had children with. So we got choice in the reverse, always also Aries energy. So you could have been fearing change. Maybe you were dealing with this person's mother or father of their children, and you felt like if they got married, you would no longer be able to deal with this person. So you were fearing change of them being happy, them moving away. So you could have felt like your choices would be restricted on what you could do to this person, or if you could even continue to interfere in their relationship or their marriage if they were to get married. So you could have known that this person that they had children with wanted to marry them. So you wanted to ruin that also, that you could continue to deal with them. Then we got justice in the reverse. So you could have done a lot of injustice or put this person through a lot of injustice that's a part of your family, all because you wanted to deal with the mother or father of their children. You wanted to do so much in their life to cause unhappiness, to make it seem like they were just going through bad karma, that they was just going through what they were going through because they were dishonest, deceptive, having a lack of direction in life. Whole time it's because you've been being corrupt, because you didn't want this person to be happy with the person that you were fantasizing about. So you wanted this person to have a lack of responsibility. You didn't want them to be in a position to where they could take care of their responsibilities and be seen as someone who is responsible. You wanted them to be seen as the complete opposite, all because you were fantasizing about who they have children with. Sick. And you're their family member, fantasizing about who they have children with. So you could have been avoiding trying to take responsibility for all the pain you've caused. You could have also been trying to get this person to avoid taking care of their responsibilities by putting them in unnecessary situations. Thank you. So we got rest in the upright. So you could be seeing that someone is getting rest, or you could be trying to rest on things because you could be in heavy fear and heavy anxiety because the lies are being exposed as to what you've really been doing, or that you're the culprit of all this. So you could have tried to have someone mentally overloaded, always needing to rest, just so that you could say that they were lazy. So like I said, you were attacking this person's willpower, so they wouldn't have the strength or the willpower to do what they had to do, to take care of their responsibilities. So you wanted this person always to be meditating. I'm fine. How are you? Always to be meditating, like, oh, why is this going on? What is going on? Who is doing this? So you wanted to keep yourself hidden. You could have been cloaking yourself as well, but always in their energy. You definitely was attacking their heart chakra as well, so that they wouldn't embody love. So you wanted people to see them as unloving, like they just weren't loving as well. So anything that you could pretty much say or do to this person to make it seem like it was them and not you, you did it because you didn't want to take accountability for the fact that you tried to pretty much destroy this person's life because you didn't want to see them happy. And we got strength in the reverse. So you wanted this person to be vulnerable, weak, or seen as weak and vulnerable. You wanted them to have a low self-esteem because you broke up their family, because you could have dealt with the mother or father of their child, because you wanted to fulfill a fantasy. You wanted them to lack self-confidence so that they wouldn't believe in themselves, make it seem like they are the reason this is going on. Whole time it's you, but you wanted them to feel like they were at fault, they were to blame for why their life was going the way that it was going. You wanted them to just feel inadequate. You didn't want them to have strength to overcome, to be able to put their life back on track. Or even if they did put their life back on track, you were going to continue to do things to try to push them back, make them backtrack, set them back, just to keep them unhappy, just to make sure there was no sun in their life. So like I said, marriage in the upright, you could have known that this Pisces that they have children with wanted to marry this person. You knew that they wanted to be a happy family, or you could have saw them being a happy family. And you wanted to destroy that. You wanted to come in between that, all because you were fantasizing about this person that they have children with. You didn't want them to be able to reunite with this person. You could have got tired of seeing them at gatherings together, happy, smiling. Then we got friendship in the upright. So now you could want to reunite with this person, celebrate with them, or this is someone that you could have celebrated with. Obviously, if there's someone a part of your family. This could be mother, brother, sister, daughter. In my case, this is my mother and I'm their daughter. But yeah, you didn't want them to be happy at a wedding. You didn't want them to be able to celebrate anything, no graduation. So you didn't want this person at their kids' graduations. You didn't want them to have any baby showers. You didn't want them to be able to celebrate or be around anybody that would celebrate them, because you didn't want to see the smile on their face. You didn't want to see them be happy. Maybe because you're a grumpy person. The Queen of Wands in the upright is grumpy. So you could be very bitter, very grumpy, feeling like, oh, you weren't happy in life, so this person can't be happy in life. All because you weren't with the person that you wanted to be with when you had children, or you didn't have children with someone that you wanted to have children with. I don't know what's the reason, but you obviously have a problem here with this person for whatever reason. Maybe you just wanted the things that they had in life. So you could have wanted their children. You could have wanted their mate. You could have wanted their happiness, all for yourself, all because you wanted to live out a fantasy. Maybe you thought you were in fantasy world to be able to take everything from this person, take this person's happiness away from them, and what? Live it out for yourself? Any more for the sign of Aries? Then we got the Ace of Wands in the reverse, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. So you wanted this person to be indecisive, like I said, on which way to go. You didn't even want this person to have friends. So everything in their life you wanted them to question, make them feel like, am I even worth having? Or is it even worth having? You wanted them to miss out on opportunities, waste their talent because they are gifted, because they are very creative. Maybe you're not creative. Maybe you're not gifted, and you could have been upset or jealous, hating because this person is so gifted and creative and you're not. Because you're infertile, you don't have ideas. So because you were lacking, Aries, you wanted someone else to lack. Any more for my Aries? Any more, plenty more. What's the tea for me for damn? So we got the Page of Swords in the upright. Don't throw my cards though. So you could be delaying sending this person a message. Maybe you're curious to know if this person knows what all you've been doing. You could be curious to know if they know that it was you attacking their security, not wanting them to have happiness, wanting them to be seen as someone dark. You really want to know. You're just so curious to know if this person is enlightened that it was you. So you were their main hater in life, Aries. You could know that this person needs patience with dealing with you. Maybe they've ran out of patience when it comes to dealing with you, because they could view you as hard to deal with, because you could do a lot of underhanded shit, but you try to play innocent. So you could be trying to come up with an idea on how to come towards this person, or what you're going to say to this person, to be able to find out if they know. You could want to come towards this person claiming that you want to be fair now. You're wanting to allow them to be happy. Oh, now you want to protect them. You don't want to be defensive towards them anymore. But what the fuck were you defensive towards them for in the first place? That's what I want to know. So we got the Hermit in the upright. So like I said, this could be a Virgo. And like I said, this is my fuck ass mother. And my brother is also an Aries. But yeah. So you know that this Virgo is spiritually enlightened. So they already know. So I don't even know why you're trying to come in, figure out if they know, because they do. You know that they're gifted. You know that they've been in solitude, which is all the more reason of them going into introspection and gaining more truth, getting the inner guidance to what's been going on, what you've been doing, Aries. So they've been soul searching, self-reflecting, contemplating on what their truth is, as well as what you try to create their truth to be. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, also Virgo energy. So this Virgo is a mature, grounded woman or a businessman. They have a high social status. They're a social butterfly, very generous and loyal, independent, meant to be wealthy, meant to live a luxury life, and you didn't want them to get to that point because you knew that they would be happy. Maybe you knew that you did so much shit that you wouldn't be able to live this luxury lifestyle with them. You wouldn't be able to sit at their table because you did so much ignorant shit, so much shit against them to attack their happiness that they wouldn't want to be happy with you. Or they just couldn't see themselves being happy with you or around you because of what you've done. You wanted them to be lazy. You didn't want them to be able to create, to be able to be prosperous. You didn't want anything to prosper in their life. So why would you even feel like you could sit at their table? Anything else for the Aries? Then we got the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. So you can know that this person is fated to have good fortune. Like I said, they're fated to live a luxury lifestyle. They're fated to have wealth. So you could have tapped into their dream state and saw this in a dream state, that this person was meant to be wealthy, meant to have status. So you try to change that. You try to change their will, change their fate, as well as their soulmate. So you interfered, slept with their soulmate, tried to live out a fantasy with their soulmate, all because you wanted to change their will. So not only were you attacking their security because you didn't want them to have good luck, you didn't want them to have good fortune, but you also interfered with their soulmate to break them apart so that they would no longer be a part of the will as well. So maybe you felt like if you mess with everything that will indicate that they had good luck, if you could mess with all of that, then their will would be in the reverse. But they're not doing anything wrong. You're orchestrating all of this. So why in the hell would you think that just because you wanted to interfere in everything that would indicate that they have good luck, that now it's bad? Now they have bad luck, but they're not the ones doing the action to make them have any bad luck, stupid. So even though you did all this, they're still going to arise to the occasion. They're still going to be in their destiny or get what they're destined to have. So even if you feel like you destroyed this soulmate, they're going to get another one. They're still going to get good fortune. Their life is still going to transform. All because they were able to accumulate off of their experience the shit that you forced them to go through. So what you did only gave them wisdom and knowledge on how to maneuver through life. So you only really helped this person, even though it was in a fucked up way. And we got travel and news in the upright. So you can know that there is some news that is traveling towards this person. Could be about some sort of good fortune that they're meant to have. And you could have wanted to stop that too, delay that too. But you could be realizing that things are moving towards this person fast. You could realize that they're taking action on something as well, or someone wants to take action towards them to have a good time with them, to set them free. So you could just be looking and realizing, seeing that this person's life is gaining momentum. Their will is here. It has arrived. So you could be looking at this person's life change for the better because you're so damn nosy and don't know how to keep your nose out their business. So you could be seeing the change. So maybe God wanted you to see that they were still going to bless this person despite all the wickedness that you did towards this person, just to see them unhappy. But you're still going to see them happy in your face because you're too damn nosy. So God could have allowed you to intervene, interfere, make it seem like you had so much power and control over this person just to bless them right in front of your face and you not be able to be a part of it. Aha. What else for the sign of Aries? Any more, plenty more. What's the T for me, for we? What's the T, Spirit? I wish you stopped throwing my damn cards. That shit flew all the way over there. Alright, the devil came out. That shit flew. Look, where is that, y'all? Right. That shit is hilarious, dog. Use the goddamn devil for show. For shit show. So yeah, devil energy. So because you wanted to be the devil advocate in this person's life, you wanted to cause them to have mental health issues. You wanted them to be materialistic because you are materialistic, Aries. You wanted things your way. Maybe you wanted this person's good fortune because you are materialistic and you think that you deserve everything and this person deserves nothing just because you're a family member of theirs. So you could have been holding on to some sort of secrets. Could be the secret that you were sleeping with the mother or father of their children, fantasizing about this person, not wanting them to be together with this person. You could have secrets about what all you did to destroy their relationship with this person, break them away from their children. So you could have been obsessed with this person's life, obsessed with their happiness, and obsessed with trying to destroy their life and their happiness. All because you wanted it to be you. You wanted it to be fated for you to have good fortune, for you to have this luck, have a soulmate that you would be in a happy marriage with. And because it wasn't you, you wanted to attack this person and destroy this person. Because you felt like it should have been you, like I said. So you could have been very dependent upon doing this. You could have wanted this person to be dependent upon you as well. And like I said, you could have used deception to do this. So you could have attacked this person's security so that they could run back to you and have to depend on you, all because you're their family member. So you felt like any way that you could keep this person close, you would be able to be a part of their good fortune. You would be able to share this will or be on this will with them. And then it's funny because you see a snake right on the side of the wheel. So you could have been this snake all along trying to ride on this person's wheel or stick around whole time use a goddamn snake. So you could have tried to bond this person to the devil as well so that they would indulge. You wanted them to be reckless with their sexual energy so that you could say that they had a lack of self-control. They just be out here doing any and everything. You wanted to strip them of their power, strip them of any hope that they had of even having a good life, a better life. And you did this by abusing them. But you wanted to hide your hand on how you were abusing them. See how the devil got his hand up? Like, I ain't got shit to do with this. My hands ain't on it. When your hands was on everything. You abused this person to no end and hid your hand. You were hiding your hands, throwing rocks and hiding your hands. And you were very violent towards this person, or you just wanted them to live a violent lifestyle, always wanted them in trouble, always wanted them in drama. Because you were aggressive to them, you wanted them to be the ones to come off like they were the ones aggressive. And this would have been your desire if you could bond them to the devil so that you could put the blame on them. Make it seem like they are the aggressor. So that would have been your soul's desire if you could bind this person. And we got the Page of Wands in the upright. So you can know that this person is getting good news, like I said. You can know that someone is wanting to send them a letter. Could be a Sagittarius. They could be getting a phone call from a Sag. Maybe this could be something about their reputation. Because you wanted to destroy this person's reputation, make it seem like they indulge, like they are the devil, or they're in this devil energy. But their reputation could be getting cleared because people could see them for who they are, a mature, grounded businesswoman or a man. People could see that they're cheerful, they're childlike, they're fun to play with, fun to be around. They could be the type to play with their children as well, so they engage with their children physically. They play with them, they keep them active, and people could know this. They can know that this person is full of energy, full of light, full of bright ideas. very creative, always planning something. Then we got making investments in a reverse. But you wanted this person to be seen like they were bad for business. So like I said, you went on attacking their solar plexus so that they wouldn't have the willpower to continue to create, to continue to be in the light or of the light. So you attack their crown. Everything that you could attack to make them seem like they were in the reverse, you did. Hello. You wanted them to never be able to finish what they start. You didn't want them to know how to handle their finances, or you wanted to make it seem like they didn't know how to handle their finances. When all in reality, it was you playing with their security, playing with their money, playing with their entire life just to make them or put them in a position to where they didn't really have much to work with. Just so you could say, oh, they're bad with finances. They don't know how to control their money. When they know how to make money and control it. And we got foresight in the reverse. So you could be lacking foresight at this time. Your third eye could be closed shut. So maybe you're not able to look into this person's life anymore. Maybe you're not able to tap into their dream state anymore. Maybe God has had enough with you intervening, with you interfering in this person's life. So they just closed off any access that you had to this person because they are tired just as well as this person. You see on the card, this person is working hard like, damn, when is this going to end? So you could be wanting to travel back home, travel back to where you're from. You could be wanting to move back where you're from. But you could have a lack of planning when doing this. So you could want to do this on an impulse, or you could be trying to figure out how you're going to do this, how you're going to make this happen. Or you could see that this person travel back home or travel back to where they are from. You could be viewing them as having a lack of vision. But like I said, maybe you don't know if you want to return back to a place where you're from. Maybe you don't know what you're going to do when you get there or how it's going to be. If this will be a good decision for you if you decide to make this move. Then we got independence and wealth in the reverse. So back to the Virgo. You wanted this Virgo to have a lack of independence. So you didn't want them to be able to be out on their own. You wanted them to stay home, be codependent upon you, just so you could control this person's will. You didn't want them to be stable, secure, and you wanted them to recklessly consume. You wanted them to be on addictions or have addictions so that you could say, oh, this is the reason why I have to control this person's will. We got Rihanna on diamonds. So you knew that this person was beautiful. Like diamonds in the sky. She said like diamonds in the sky. So you could have known that this person was worth so much more. You could have viewed them like they were a diamond, something precious, and you wanted to hold on to this. Heller. And then we got Temperance in the upright. You knew that this person shined bright like a diamond. And you didn't want them to be able to shine. Now you could be wanting to be in this tempered energy, wanting to balance things out, reconcile with this person after all the hurt and pain and destruction you've caused. All because you wanted control. All because you wanted to be the one that shined bright like a diamond. So now you could be trying to gain a new perspective, do things in moderation. You could want to travel towards this person and communicate with them in person. So now, after all that you've done, you can now want to pour back into this person's cup after completely emptying it. And we got the Emperor in the upright. So if you are a father figure, you could be someone who is stable, someone structured. You could want to protect this person now, Aries. You could see that they're disciplined, but like I said, you want to control over this person. Now, you could be their father or you could be a father figure. That's a part of this person's family. And you felt like because you were the leader of this family, that you were supposed to have power and control over this person. So you wanted everybody in the family to be able to rely on you or have to rely on you. So you wanted to be able to take everything from this person so that they would rely on you, have to call on you for their own shit. Any more for the sign of Aries, Spirit? Any more, plenty more. What's the tea for me, for we? Hello. And we got the Queen of Cups in the upright. So like I said, even though you wanted this person to be viewed in a negative light, they are a Queen of Cups. They're very mature, very secure within themselves. They're not insecure like you wanted them to be. They're very feminine, very loving, very loyal, faithful, but they could be easily hurt. So you could have hurt this person by your actions. You knew that they were a nurturer. You knew that they were intuitive, that they were a psychic. And you knew that them being this Queen of Cups, their life would be very fruitful. As you see everything around this Queen of Cups. And you wanted complete control over that. Over their fruit. Natalie, whatever the heck, is on Torn. I can't hear the words like that. But you could be torn, Aries, because this person is no longer around or because of the control that you wanted. When it came to this person's will, this person's life, you could realize that they no longer want to be around. And now you could be feeling torn. And then we got poverty in the reverse. So this Queen of Cups, they could be getting some financial luck. Things can be improving for them. So like I said, their will is already here. It's already arrived. And there could be an end to difficulties because you could have had them in poverty because you wanted to continue to attack their security. Always wanting them to lack employment, not being able to have enough energy to create anything that would bring them security. So they could have been in poverty, but now things could be changing, or they could be headed towards a positive change. Things could be headed in a good direction for this person so that an end could be brought to their difficulties, or an end could be brought to poverty if they're still in poverty. Then we have the Knight of Swords in the upright. So there could be a big change that's happening for this person. They could be getting a big opportunity that they're going to have to make their mind up about. So someone could be coming towards them to give them this opportunity. They could be coming to this person being very direct, very bold. So they could be coming in quickly. Maybe they have some information for this person and about an opportunity or about why this was held up. But this person, it could be an Aquarius that's wanting to rush in towards someone and give them this opportunity. Then we got the Knight of Wands in the upright. So they could be coming in towards this person for passion. So they could want to give this person an opportunity, but they want passion in return. So maybe, Aries, you're trying to send in this Aquarius to get this person, this Queen of Cups, out of poverty, to try and fix what you've caused. So you could be trying to rush this Aquarius or Sagittarius to come towards this person. Now, it could be to come towards this person to have passion before they get this financial luck. Then we got the Fool in the reverse. So you could still be trying to make this person do things on an impulse, make them be reckless, or you're still trying to make it seem like they are reckless with their sexual energy. So you're trying to put them in an energy to make them feel like there's nothing to fear, that they could take a risk, nothing is going to happen to them. This is going to be able to make them come out of poverty. But you could be yet again still doing this to try to prove a point of what you've been saying about this person. So you just want them to be able to put their guard down so you could yet still do what you've been doing. So there's no change here. So pretty much you're just trying to reconcile with this person, act like you want to make peace with them just to backstab them yet again. Because you know that you're not a part of this person's will. You know that once they receive this financial luck, that you're not going to have shit to do with it. And you could be upset with the fact and trying to dominate this person still. have power over this person still. You could feel like you're more structured than this person. Maybe you feel like, oh, you doing this is you protecting them. Maybe you feel like you're more logical than this person. So maybe you wanted to be the one to choose this person's levers, choose how they make money, have control over the money because you felt like you had more structure and logic than this person. And then we got the Empress in the upright. So yeah, you can know that this person is an Empress. Obviously, they're a mother. They do have children because you took them away from their children, put them in a position to where they couldn't care for their children. Now, you can know that this person is very fertile. Maybe you didn't want them having any more children because you know they're still able to bear children. So you didn't like this person's nurturing side. Maybe you didn't like the fact that they were more nurturing than you, Aries, more creative than you, more active than you, more passionate than you, more artistic than you. So you didn't want this person to be in harmony, not with themselves or anything around them. You didn't want them to be able to harvest. So you wanted to spread the narrative like they were reckless, always taking risks, living life on the edge. Then we got the Hierophant in the upright. So you could be a leader of a society or of a cult, Aries. And y'all like to challenge people's traditional values, try to educate them by orchestrating shit in the background, trying to have domination over them, have power over them, so that you could alter their beliefs into whatever this cult or society that you lead believes. So maybe you don't want this person to be able to be single and free and able to do whatever they want to do. You want them to be in a marriage with someone who isn't going to treat them right, pretty much. You want them to be in a marriage with someone who is reckless, someone who is going to cheat on them. So again, back to you not wanting them to be happy. Even though they're meant to be with a soulmate of theirs, they're meant to have a happy family, meant to have a happy marriage, you want the opposite for them. So you feel like if you could get someone to come in to marry them, a Aquarius or a Sag that is reckless with their sexual energy, someone that's going to constantly cheat on them, that they're going to be unhappy. So you just still are shooting for them to be unhappy. And then we got lost in the reverse. So you can know that this person is moving forward, continuing on, not really wanting to be in a marriage or be committed to someone that they know is just going to be reckless. They are content with self. They know how to be by self, regardless of what they believe. Because they may believe in commitment in marriage, but they believe in it with the right person and not just anybody. They don't want to take the risk with just anybody, and you want them to take a risk with someone who is reckless. And they're not wanting to do that. So they are focusing on themselves, healing themselves, and just forgiving whoever and whatever they need to forgive to be able to move on and heal themselves so that they could rejoin the world, come out of solitude, come out of hermit mode. So we got goodbye. Somebody that I used to know is on. So this could be someone that you used to know. Maybe you thought that you knew this person, Aries, all because they were a part of your family, all because you are either their father or their mother. And you thought just because this person was your child that you knew this person. But they're just somebody that you used to know. You don't know this healed version of them. Maybe you only know the part of them or who they were when they were reckless, when they did have a lack of direction. And we got ending in defeat in the reverse. So this person could be escaping the destruction that you wanted for them, Aries. They could be picking themselves back up, getting back up from you constantly putting swords in their back, constantly betraying them, trying to break their heart or get people to break their heart. So they had the willpower, even though you were attacking their willpower. They still had the willpower to be able to get up every time you decided to stab them in the back. And they learned from the difficulties of the past. So everything you threw at them, they pretty much learned from. And was still able to heal from it and continue on. Keep moving. Then we got transition in the upright. So they could be moving into calmer waters, healing, like I said. Even after all the swords that you put in their back, they're still progressing. Things could be calming down for them. They could be getting relief, some sort of financial luck. Things could be improving for them. They could be headed towards stability, or they could be getting this stability now. And they could be escaping the destruction you wanted them in. Now, they could have traveled away as well. Maybe they traveled across waters. Let me pull a few more. And then we gonna end this reading. What else for my Aries spirit? For the Aries. So we got model. So you could have knew that this person was a model, Aries. You could be looking for this person everywhere. And you could be mad because they're not obsessed with you. Then we got Ohio. So they could be in Ohio, traveling to or from Ohio. Or someone that's in Ohio is mad because this person is not obsessed with them. They could be a Libra or have Libra in their chart. Or something significant could be happening October 1st. You could be into sports betting, Aries. And you could be feeling this person. Or someone could be feeling you that could be pregnant by you, Aries. Or you could feel like this person is pregnant. Any more for the sign of Aries, Spirit, for Aries? Any more, plenty more. What's the T? So we got January. So something significant could have happened in January. Maybe you sensed that this person was pregnant in January. Or you could have got someone pregnant in the month of January, Aries. This could be someone that you went on a third date with that you got pregnant. So you could have got them pregnant on the third date. Someone's name could be EJ. So EJ, if you're an Aries, you could have got someone pregnant on the third date. Any more for my Aries, Spirit? Any more, plenty more. What's the T? So we got tampering with food production. So you could be tampering with someone's food production, EJ, whoever EJ is. And we got, I miss your lips. So you could miss someone's lips, or someone could miss your lips. And we have wish granted. So wish could be getting granted for this person. Then we have turning off body cam for personal stops to harass certain individuals. So Aries, if you have a position of authority, which the Emperor is normally an authoritative figure. So if you have a position of authority, you could be stopping certain individuals so that you could harass them, and you could be the type that like to turn off your body cam so that this doesn't get caught of you doing this. And we got paid prankster, so you could also be a paid prankster. You like to prank people. So maybe you turn your body cam off to prank people. Maybe you pay them for this. And we got a trip to the beach. So you could be taking a trip to the beach, Aries. Someone's name could be Garrison. You could live in Florida, be from Florida, traveling to or from Florida. Then we got sacrifice through grape and unalive. So you could have planned to sacrifice someone through grape, and then you were going to unalive them, Aries. That was your plan, to dominate someone. This could be someone who is African, or you could be African or of African descent. But a detective could be watching you, Aries, because they could know that you want to sacrifice somebody through grape and unalivement. Then we have want to see where it goes. So this detective could be watching to see where this goes, see how far you're going to get in this plan, in this plot, to try to sacrifice someone through grape and unalive. And we got popping pills. So you could be a pill popper, a pill head. Then we have a Pisces female. You could be dealing with a Pisces female at this time. Maybe this is the person you went on a third date with, but they could have a fake pregnancy test. Billie Jean is on. Michael Jackson, the kid is not my son. So you could be trying to say that the kid is not your son, Aries. Wow. But yeah, that was y'all reading, Aries. I hope y'all enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe. Anybody wanting a personal reading, have any questions, would like to have a venting session, or would like to donate, that information on how to is in the description below this video. If it's not available now, it will be available once the video processes. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. Deuces, you means. I